Hi, my wonderful fashion family. How have you been? How is the fashion journey going? Are you interested in learning how to draft an overbust corset? Then this video is for you. If you are interested, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share to your loved ones, and let's get started. You are welcome once again. So here is my pattern paper and I've marked my starting line for guidelines. So we are going to be inputting our vertical measurement first, which is my bust point, my under bust point, and my waistline. Also, you are going to be adding 4 inches or 5 inches to get the length of your blouse, as in to know where the blouse will stop at. So 4 inches from your waistline or 5 inches is okay. Whatever works for you, 4 inches or 5 inches is okay. If you want to learn how to take a proper body measurement, I have a video on that. I will drop it in the description box because you have to take your measurement properly to get a good result. Then afterwards, I'll divide my shoulder into 2 and I'll also mark 3 inches for my neck width. And for the neck depth, I'm going to mark 3 inches also. Using my curve ruler, I'll connect it together to form a round neckline. Then from there also, from the shoulder point, I'll come down by 1 inches as my shoulder slope, and using my ruler I'll connect it straight into the neckline so I can form my shoulder slope. And also now I'll calculate my armhole depth, the length of my armhole, and to get a accurate length I will remeasure the shoulder and I'll also impute it there. Using my ruler I will rule it so that we can have the armhole length. And now to get the armhole curve, I'll divide my bust into 4 and I'll mark it. Using my ruler, I'll connect it into the armhole length, like so. So this way we'll get our armhole curve. Then I'll divide the length into 2, look for the midpoint and I'll mark. From that point, I'll come in by ½ inch. And using my ruler, I'll connect it to the tip of the shoulder slope, like so. And using my curve ruler, I'll connect it to the point where my bust was divided into 4. And this way our armhole curve has been formed. So if you want to get a basic understanding on how to draft a basic bodice, I have videos on that on my channel. Then I'll label the points. I forgot to label it earlier. Now I'll divide my bust span into 2. That's my nipple to nipple measurement. I'll divide it into 2 and I'll mark it all the way down. And using my ruler, I'll connect everything together so that we can be able to take our bustier darts. So if your bust is from 34 inches downwards, you can use 2 inches. And if your bust is from 36 inches upwards, you can use 2.5 inches or 3 inches. But I'm busty, so I'm making use of 3 inches. So I gave 1 inch to the center front side and 2 inches to the side front side. So just look at the way I'm doing. I gave the higher part, that's 2 inches to this side where I'm ruling down, and 1 inch. You should not do more than 1 inch for this side. So I gave it to this side, and you are going to be connecting it from the under bust, the waistline, and the length. So on the bust point, you come down by 1 inch, and using your curved ruler, you are going to connect it into the under bust. So please just watch closely the way I'm doing things in this video, and try to watch it more than twice so you can understand. Then I also curve it like so, as you can see. To get the overbust dart, I will divide my shoulder into 2. I'll try to look for the midpoint of my shoulder, then I'll connect it straight into the bust point, as you can see in the video. Then afterwards, I have to know where the overbust dart will be taken. So I'll measure everything I have between from the bust point to the under bust, and I will mark it. I'll try to mark everything like so, and I'll use my ruler to connect it together into the armhole, as you can see. So on that point, we're going to be taking our overbust dart, and I'll be taking the overbust dart of 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches is okay for any bust, whether small or big. But if you have a very big bust from 46 inches upward, use 2 inches so it can be well snatched. Then using my curve ruler, I'll connect it into the bust point. Then using my ruler, I am going to create a straight line into the shoulder, following the slant the overbust dart has created. So this way to help us to tighten the neckline when we are shaping it, because we are going to shape the neckline and we have to tighten it. It doesn't affect anything because we don't need the upper part. It is a yoke part and we don't need it. So now I will be dividing my round body measurement my bust divided by 4, then my waist divided by 4, and I'll also return that under bust dart intake. I'll return it. Then the hip divided by 4, I'll mark the dart intake I've taken, and I will return it. Please don't forget that the under bust dart you take for a busty person is different from the one you take for someone who is not busty, so you can get a good result. So now we are going to be snatching our waist. So now whatever the inches you have in mind to remove from your waist area, because the beauty of corset is when it is snatched and you have to remove some things from your waist, so that when you tighten it, it will be back to shape. So if you have it in mind to remove 4 inches, like in this video I'm planning to snatch it with 4 inches. Remember, this front pattern is on fold, so it's like the body divided into 4. So now I'll be snatching this place with 1 inch, and now I'll divide my waist, everything I got, I'll divide it into 2, and I'll rule a straight line. Then I'll be snatching this waist with 1 inch, that's ½ inch on each side. You know, like this is just like 1/4 of the whole body. By the time I will do 1 inch here, 1 inch on the other half of the front, so 1 inch at the back, it will give me 4 inches. Afterwards I will connect it, but please do not let it go into your bust point. Just find a point to connect those darts into. You are not snatching your breast, it's only the waist and the under bust you are snatching, so you shouldn't let your breast to be snatched. Also on the hip area, do not let it go into the hip. Just find a way to stop it before you get into the hip points. Then afterwards I'll be taking my bust dart intake. So whatever the difference between your front and back half length gives you is your bust dart. If you understand your basic bodies well, this will be quite understandable for you. So now I'm going to be opening the shoulder dart and the bust dart, because I want to draw the neckline and I want to realign the lines. So then I'll close it like this, and any lines that I've shifted, I'll just use my ruler to blend it back into my bust. It doesn't affect anything. So also look at the way I am reblending these darts. Just slant it and cancel those marks that might be confusing. So now I'll open it back, and I will fold in the shoulder dart, those excess on the shoulder dart. I will fold them. Then I'll place it on each other like so, using that overbust dart line as a guide for me to know where I am going to be arranging the neckline, because we are going to be creating our scoop neckline. So I'm going to keep arranging the neckline, and when I feel satisfied, I'm going to make use of a sellotape to pin it down. That point where the overbust meets is just the major point that needs to touch each other. Then afterwards, from that neck depth, as in from our round neck, I'll come down by 5 inches. You know, we've already come down by 3 inches before, so I'll come down by 5 inches. Then using my curve ruler, I'll just use it to look for a point, depending on how pointy you want the neckline to be. So that part is left to you. So I'm just trying to use this to explain. All you need to do is to arrange your curve ruler to get where the neckline will be, as in the pointy part of it. So that's what I'm just doing here. I'll arrange my curve ruler to know the point which I'll love to let the neckline to be. Then after I'm satisfied, I'll cancel the one I'm not making use of. Then I'll remove my paper tape, and now I'll open it up like so. So those are the points I'm making use of. I overextended it past the armhole, that's why I'm erasing that point. Now I'll close my bust dart. As you can see, I'm going to close the bust dart, and I'll use my sellotape to close that point. So there's this trending shape I would love to make on the hip area. It's not compulsory, you can just watch. If you love it, you can do it. So on this part, I will come down by 1 inch, as you can see, and on the other part of my hip, I'll come down by 5 inches. Then I will measure everything I have, and I will mark it on that point I came down by 5 inches. Then using my curve ruler, I will extend it. So I'm trying to make sure that my curve ruler is giving me the perfect shape. And now I will make the curve, as you can see. So now I have to close these darts. You know, by the time we finish sewing, the dart would have been closed, so I have to close the dart on the paper like so. Please be careful so as to make sure your paper does not cut. Then using my free hand, I'll try to make a curve shape. Just watch the way I'm trying to connect it from this point to the dart and into that hip area, as you can see. So I'll keep sketching. You might not get it at once. I didn't get mine too immediately. That's why I'm showing you all the behind the scene. I could have edited it off. So you try to resketch until you feel you are satisfied. So I felt satisfied with this, and I used my marker pen to highlight it. So I chose to highlight this for the sake of the video. I won't advise you to make use of marker for your drafting. Pencil is okay. That's usually I mostly use pencil because marker tend to add to the inches. So now we are not through yet. Then on that hip point where our length stop, I'll come out by 0.25. Then using my curve ruler, I'll connect it back to the waist area. Then now I'll also reshape this back to the lower hip. So this way it will give us fake hip. There's this fake hip effect that is trending on most overbust corsets. You would have seen it. So that's what I'm doing. So when I felt satisfied, I highlighted it. So this is me using my marker to highlight every mark for the sake of this video, so you can know the parts we are cutting out, because you will notice that the lines are so much and you really need to know the parts that are going to be cut out. That's why I'm highlighting it. So please watch this video for more than 2 times or 3 times if possible. That's the beauty. You'd have gotten enough knowledges and experiences. You'd have even discovered some new ways of drafting, and that way to make your drafting easy. So this is me highlighting every necessary point. If you have any question, ask me in the comment section. I'll answer you. So after I've highlighted it, then I'll be cutting everything out. So look at the way I am going to be cutting it. Please take your time to study the lines and cut. If you do not understand anything, please ask me in the comment section. I'll definitely answer you. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment. Please drop those lovely comments. I'll really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Then now we are going to be moving to the back pattern. You thought we are through, right? No, we are not through yet. So I'll label it first, and I'm going to label every important point, the bust point where they are going to be meeting. I'll label it 1, 2, 3, my center front, my middle front, and my side front, so you will not get confused. And I'll set this aside so we can draft the back pattern. So for the back pattern, this is the pattern paper I'm making use of, and I've marked my starting line also. So I'm going to mark my back half length. If you know how to take body measurements properly, you will know that the front half length is different from the back half length. Then afterwards, from that point where I marked the back half length, I'll come down by 4 inches. I made use of 4 inches for myself. You can make use of 4 inches or 5 inches. Mine is that if it's 4 inches you added to your half length in the front, that's the same thing you should also add to your half length at the back. If you use 5 for the front, use 5 for the back. Don't worry, they will align together. By the time you are going to arrange the paper together, you will notice that everything will blend. Then I'll rule it out and label it my waistline and my length. Then now I will mark my neck width, and my shoulder divided by 2, I will mark it. From that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'll slant it into my neck width. I didn't bother marking my neck depth because we don't need it. So the armhole length you drafted for the front, you will impute it. Then I'll remeasure my shoulder divided by 2 and mark it so that the armhole length can be straight. I do this a lot if you watch my videos. Then to get my armhole curve, I'll divide my bust into 4 and I'll connect it into the armhole length like so. Then I'll come out from that corner by 1 inch so we can get a perfect armhole curve for the back. So now using my curve ruler, I'll connect everything together like so. So the way we draft the back armhole is different from the front. Then this way I'll also rule out this line, because that point automatically is our chest line. Wherever your armhole length stops is your chest line. So now I will impute my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 to get the darts. So, and I'll be connecting it into the chest line, the waist, and the length. For my dart intake, I'll make use of 1.5 inches so it can snatch my waist, and I'll divide it into 2 and I'll connect it into the chest line like so. And I'll also connect it into the length like so, and our dart is ready. Then afterwards, I'll divide my bust into 4 and mark, which I've done. I'll divide my waist into 4, I'll mark it, and I will return the dart intake, and I'm going to connect this into the bust area. And also on the hip area, I'll divide my hip into 4 and I will use my curved ruler to connect like so, as you can see. Then afterwards, we are going to be snatching the waist. So on the waist area, I will divide everything I got into 2 like so to get the middle, and I will mark it using my ruler. I'll connect everything into the chest line, the waist and the length. Then the amount of inches you use in the front, you also input it at the back. I made use of 1 inch, so I'm going to be sharing it 0.5 inches on both sides, and I'll connect into the chest line like so. And also for the length, I'll connect into the length like so. So this way we've snatched our waist. So for the neckline, you can come down from your chest line with 1 inch and connect into the place where your armhole stops at like so. Or you should make use of this trendy neckline by coming up by 1 inch from your chest line and making a curve. So this is the neckline that is trending, and that's the one I'm highlighting because that's the one I have in mind to make use of. So now I'll come down by 1 inch from the length and 5 inches on the side. I will input what I got and mark like so. We are just trying to also do the shape, that's trendy shape I did for the front. So that's what I'm just trying to get here. Then on that point, I'll come out by 0.25 and I'll connect it into my waistline like so. Using my curve ruler again, I'll connect it into the lower hip. So this time around, I'm not just going to sketch my curve. I will place the front pattern. You just have to look at the way I'm arranging the front pattern. Look at the way I place the bustier areas, and I will place the front pattern on it like so. Then I will sketch. The reason why we are doing this is so that we made it of freehand, and you want it to be accurate. So this way, I'll use my pencil to sketch it after I'm satisfied with the way I arranged it. I will sketch it like so. Then I'll take away the front pattern and use my free hand to highlight the back pattern. Then I will extend my dart leg into the new shape I have created. So now I'm going to be creating the back shape where our eyelet is going to show. On the lower part, I came in by 1 inch, and on the upper part, I came in by 1.5 inches. And this is just me marking those eyelet dots so I can know what that part stands for. Now I'm going to be using my marker pen to highlight all the lines so I can know what I am cutting out. So the dart also, I will extend it into the neck area, but for this second dart, we are going to be tightening the neckline. So I'll be tightening it by 0.25 on both sides, and I'm going to connect it into my dart like so, and I'll also highlight it. I'll connect the second side also. Then after that, I'm going to cut everything out. So please watch closely the way I'm going to be cutting the back pattern. I'll try to cut everything out like so. The darts, we don't need it. We are going to be cutting them off. And after that, I am going to be labeling it. So I'll label it the center back, the middle back, and the side back. Thank you so much for watching my video. See you in my next one, and also watch out for the sewing tutorial which will be coming up soon. Thank you so much. Until then, keep winning.